Y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, A.D. Walker. Appreciate you guys being here. All right, so today we are discussing regret. We're talking about not allowing regret to hold us back and what we have done with some of our regret and maybe some of the things that we might be dealing with currently. All right, make sure you share, make sure you are connecting with others. Again, thank you for being here. Uh, Make sure you share this conversation, tag someone to be in it. And if you feel like you're missing episodes, make sure you are joining our community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss a broadcast. And we're going to have a great conversation this morning. All right, so make sure you tune in, stay connected, and make sure to join us tonight at 7 o'clock. We have Solomon's Temple Christian Ministries, as well as 8:30. We have the Sisters of Legacy, and make sure you are joining that tonight. All right, and if you want to stay connected, make sure you join our community. Text LWN to 84576. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kick this off. I appreciate you guys being with us. This is your opportunity to share. It's your opportunity to be a part of what we got going on. Sometimes I don't know how sensitive this mic is. Oh man. All right. We'll be right back after this.
I want to welcome you to the Brothers of Legacy broadcast, where we are changing our community one conversation at a time, every day.
We are creating a new legacy.
Change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come.
A co-op has to start with ownership. But we have a mindset of either I want to make a lot of money or survive. Make a bunch of money or I got to figure out how to survive.
When you have a real bond, when everyone has, we come in with real expectations. Because this is covenant.
The whole point is that we as a people, with our money and time, aren't often making this just possible, often vested in the business.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
All right. Oh, what's up, gentlemen? Good morning, Pastor. Can't hear you. You muted. Oh, did I mute you?
Happy day.
There we go.
How you doing?
All is well. All is well. What's up, Mark?
Oh, I got the dog barking. He heard me. I got a little too loud.
Yeah. He said it's excitement time. It's excitement time.
Good morning, brethren. Good morning. Good morning.
Bless you,
morning.
man.
Bless you. It looks like you at the crib today.
Yes, I'm teleworking today.
Okay.
So in my mind, that means I'm off. In my mind, that's a day off.
This is a day off.
See, I attracted too much attention.
Oh,
Came down here to see what all the noise was about.
What kind of dog is that, Pastor?
Oh, that's a horse.
Huh?
Not a dog. That's a horse. The little baby horse.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
he's like, what in the world is going on? That's too much. That's too loud for the morning.
Listen, it's crazy, Mark, because when the pandemic started, the dog was like this.
Right.
Just like that. That dog has grown significantly. All right.
I think a lot of us grew during
Right.
COVID. We all gained our COVID-19.
Speak for yourself, bro. I lost.
See that?
I'm actually 10 pounds lighter.
Really?
That's where I got my pounds from. Going over there, I picked his up. He lost it. I picked it up. Hey, good morning, Cheryl. Good morning.
Morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, Miss Cheryl. I think I lost weight over the past 3 weeks, man, because my dad has
Nice.
had us on this 21-day fast.
Oh, okay.
And I like to call it the 21-day starvation plan. And you call it fast. I call it the Feed the Hungry Foundation. 'Cause, Lord have mercy, Jesus. And
Can
I
I
was
tell
so
you
happy.
something?
Yes, sir.
Can I tell you something publicly?
Uh-oh.
That's going to bless you, but it's going to help everybody that's listening.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You said my dad has us on this fast.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If it's your dad's fast and he has you on it, you're doing it for him and not for you.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And so a lot of times you are hungrier. It's more of a challenge
Right.
Yes.
because you're doing it because somebody else said it
Right.
and not doing it for your own sanctification.
Right.
Right.
When we change our mindset, this is something I just learned recently.
Right.
Because churches put people on fast all the time,
Right.
and everybody's struggling. What about my medication? What? But when God has
Yeah,
led
yeah,
you to something,
Right.
Right.
you have less anxiety
Mm-hmm.
about it. So we have to stop fasting for our pastors,
Oh yeah.
Right.
Definitely. Yeah, Moses
Right.
matters.
and do it for our own
Good morning, Malcolm.
sanctification.
Like,
Absolutely. You are correct.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. No, you know what? That helps a lot. That does. That's
Hey,
very
good morning.
significant. Because fasting is about it's about denying your flesh. And so that's the focus. I have to refocus because I'm telling you, it's been a little bit of a struggle. Not a huge struggle, but like
Right.
when I hit that 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock threshold,
yeah.
and you're like, Lord have mercy, and you can't, and we can't eat between midnight and 3 p.m. We can only have water.
Right.
Okay.
And so, well, like I said, when you at work and you're going and going and going, and about that
Right.
12, 1 o'clock threshold hit, you just be like, Lord Jesus, take
Yeah.
the wheel.
Yeah.
And the vending machine ain't but a few feet from your office.
Yeah. And
Just a
but
few
you
feet.
see what happens though? This is what happens to us. Because what we're saying is I'm going to deny my flesh. But when you deny your flesh, you have to replace that denial, that void, with something.
Right.
So instead of focusing on what time I have, how much time I have left to eat, I've got to fill myself with something that is edifying to get my mind off of the clock and onto the purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Because most of us make the mistake of watching the clock when we fast. How long do I have to wait?
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to, Lord, I thank you for this opportunity.
Right.
Right. And I'm trying to help somebody, man, because the only way to get the elevation, to get the blessing of the denial and putting your body under subjection is to make sure that you fill the void with something of the spirit, because you're trying to deny your flesh for something spiritual. So why not fill your mind and your heart and spirit up with something spiritual, so that you're not worried about the sandwich that's waiting on you. A lot of folks will prepare a meal like this.
Right.
As soon as that clock strikes 12,
Right.
I'm running to the fridge.
Yeah.
Well, what if we can get to a place where we don't even realize it's past the time
Oh yeah.
that we can start eating again?
Yeah.
It's about what we do in that time of denial
Right.
that helps us get to our next level.
Right.
All right, I'm done. I said I was done. I apologize.
Are you done?
Yeah, there you go.
Are you
Gibson.
done?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm with you, Mark. I mean, you do, like, sometimes the beginning of the year is coming. You know it's coming, and it can get tough sometimes, and we get focused on like, oh, I can do this. And I think it's just training. It's just getting to the point of self-discipline.
Yeah.
And I think some churches calling a fast helps. Because sometimes if I'm calling a fast, I say 3 days by half the day. I'm like, okay, praise God, I think I got what I needed. So I think it just help with disciplining and getting you off the spiritual milk, what they say, the milk and into the meat. So I'm with you. Hang in there, Mark. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Getting that focus. Getting that focus. So today we're talking about regret. Are you held back by
Right.
regret? And we had a pretty good talk last night. We talked about plenty of things. It's kind of how you go over it without actually saying something specific. But yeah, it was a good conversation. It was a good conversation.
You see my eyes?
Right. It was a good conversation.
We was in Vegas last night.
Right. Yeah. So do you feel like, are there things that are in your life that like that hold you back as far as regret, that keeps you from maybe seeking other opportunities, or that keep you from trying something because either it went bad last time, and sometimes even in relationships. I know people probably they get out of relationships. I'm never gonna get married again. I'm never gonna because it went bad, and I regret ever doing. So now it keeps me from certain opportunities. And I know people that don't take like promotions or anything like that, because of it going bad in another situation. But I think we have to take every opportunity or experience sometimes as their own. There's something that you learn, but I think we always should be trying to move forward and not get hung up in what has happened in the past. So today I just want to kind of talk to my brothers about that, see if there's any experiences. I know for myself, I think I've had like humps and bumps when it comes to like leadership roles and things of that nature, and I never wanted to lead ever again. Like I mean I've bumped my head a few times having manager roles and things, and it's just like, and I'm like, I never just leave me let me be an Indian. I don't need to be a chief.
Why?
I think, well, one, because I felt like I just wasn't, it's just not what I can do. I just didn't feel like it's what I could do.
Why?
And I guess I didn't follow up with it, or just something just always seemed to happen, and there's people to people, things, each personality. And I somehow just was always, every leadership role I had, just, well, not everyone, that's not true, but pretty much a lot of manager roles, and some of them just didn't pan out. It just was challenging. I don't know, like they were challenging, just managing people. You said why? You just hit me with the why. I think it's just dealing with the different personalities, and my dealings with them. I tried to interact with everybody the same way.
Why?
Why? Because I felt like my style is my style, and everyone should accept I'm the boss, or I'm managing in this position, and this is what we do.
Why?
Because I said so.
You see where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Cheryl. You see how hard he's working to stay away from where I'm going. I'm digging and he's covering. Right?
I just and honestly, like when it came to leadership, I think it's a fear of failing. That was
Okay.
probably my biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was
Fear of failing.
Fear of failing. Like that, just fear of getting it wrong.
And intimidated by people.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed.
Right.
Indeed.
But yet you deal with people and personalities every day.
Right.
You tell people no.
Right.
You tell people that's not how I do it.
Yeah. Indeed.
All the things that you used as a deterrent from leadership,
right,
you do every day of your life.
Right.
and you deny yourself that opportunity,
Yep.
and it's vaporware. What is vaporware?
Break it down.
Vaporware is all those failed businesses during the dot-com boom.
Mm.
Right?
Okay.
Look good on paper, but there was nothing really there.
Right. 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 Right.
Vaporware.
Right.
I call them wolf tickets.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because we convince ourselves.
Yeah.
It ain't what I heard, it's what I've lived.
Right.
I got the button.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We convince ourselves that we justify it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And the reality is we're denying ourselves an opportunity because of something we don't want to do. And the very thing we don't want to do, we do every day anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just don't want to do it over there.
Hey, Lisa. Blessings.
Bless you, Lisa.
What's up, Taiwan?
Right?
Hey, Miss Lisa.
And so the thing is, you have to ask yourself, why, why am I afraid of people?
Right.
Why do people intimidate me when they don't pay my mortgage?
Right.
Why do people intimidate me on the job when I was looking for a job when I found this one?
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I may know you today. We may not know each other tomorrow.
Right.
I meet new people every day. Relationships come and relationships go. So why am I so stuck on this one? And
Right.
so we have this regret is like, number one, it's feeling the guilt of having made the wrong decision.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep.
And it's completely okay to do that.
Right.
Completely okay. But the real question, like you're talking about, like when you say leadership and all that, do you regret not taking the opportunity?
You said, do I regret?
Yeah, like not being in leadership, man. I should have stuck that out. I should have, man. If I had only gotten over myself, I would XYZ.
Probably, yeah. That I do, yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like just confronted it, argued it out, figured it out, kind of situation.
Yeah.
But why do you know that? Why do you feel that way?
Because I know I can.
Because you know you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not because you can, but because
yeah,
you've done it.
Right.
In other areas of your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what that says is I may not have been able to do it then.
Right.
But there's still opportunity because my heart is still beating. I still have opportunity because I'm still breathing. I still have opportunity because opportunities present themselves every single day.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Cheryl Anthony says, didn't know. Anthony didn't know he was gonna get psychoanalyzed this morning. He getting his 1 hour on the couch this morning.
Appreciate that, Cheryl.
Look, not only am I the president of the hair club for me,
right.
I am also a client.
All right.
Right.
Like I tell people all the time, I ain't teaching what I heard, I'm teaching what I've lived.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Indeed. So something that's held you back with regret. What about you, Mark? Anything that you've done that has kept you from an opportunity that has held you back or anything of that nature? Oh, you went muted. You muted. I can't hear you. We can't hear you. I can't. Anybody else can hear you?
No.
Okay. Because that's happened before. It's like, yeah, we hear him. I'm like, why can't I hear him?
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I've generally been afraid to do things, or I've had some sort of fear or trepidation, or even reservations about something. And it's really just the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to do. What's my next move going to be? And generally, you're not afraid going into something when you know what your next move is going to be. But a lot of us enter into things. I'm banking on one thing happening, but if it does happen, or if it doesn't happen, rather, that's the main thing. If this doesn't happen right, what's going to be my next move? And for me, that's been the biggest issue. If this does not pan out, what's my next move going to be? I don't have that. And I think I have a habit of putting my eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
You know, learning to have a plan of contingency,
Okay.
or just having different avenues to take. Okay, if this road don't work, what's the next? You know, what am I going to do? I get
Right.
fixated
Right.
on one thing.
Yeah.
You know, my brother preached a message this past Sunday, and it was so poignant and it was so time pertinent. And he preached about fear.
Mm.
And he preached about how fear is just a notion. He was like, fear does not exist. It's an emotion, but it's
Right.
not real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not what it looks like.
Right.
And he was like, it is impossible to have faith and fear. Fear and faith cannot exist in the same room. The same way light and darkness can't exist in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you got to get past that. And he preached some other things and everything, and he gave us a lot of meat to go with it, but it really resonated with me.
Right.
About fear and about trepidation and about having reservations. And it was like, listen, man, if God is ordering your steps, yeah, it's gonna look one way.
Right.
But get that fear out your heart, man. We got to learn how to step out the boat. If you stay focused,
Right.
step out on the boat, man, and walk.
Right.
As soon as you take your eyes off of what you're supposed to be looking at or what you're supposed to be doing, just like, the disciple, when he saw the waves coming, he got scared.
Right. Right.
Jesus is standing 10 feet in front of you.
Right.
The person who is protecting you, the person that's making the way for you, he's 10 feet in front of you. He's within arm's length.
Right.
But you turned your head for a second and got scared, and that fear
Right.
overtook you. So, yeah, I've been there, man. But I'm learning how to push past that.
Right. Is it so you're saying it's you try to open up more avenues, you find yourself trying not to just stay focused on one thing?
Exactly. Gotcha. I pride myself on being able to multitask, and I pride myself on being able to be involved in certain different things and certain avenues, and not be afraid, to meet the challenge of all those different things.
Right.
Nice.
All right. So Tawan said, I want to leave New York, but fear of the unknown, being complacent is holding me back. Man, that's big. Pastor,
you should have been on here yesterday, bro.
We could speak about moving. Yes.
Yeah. Because I left Sacramento, California to come to Georgia.
Yes.
And I'll say this, because I love the message you talked about from your brother, man. I'll say this. Morning, E.
Hey, good morning.
Fear is real.
Right.
I love what Cheryl put in here. Cheryl put in here 2 Timothy 1:7. As real as fear is, we just need to know that it didn't come from the Lord.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I said yesterday that faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is moving anyway.
Right.
Right? That's real. Because think about a loud noise with an infant who does not know anything except what their experience is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Make a loud noise, they're gonna jump like anybody else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna scare them because fear is an emotion.
Right.
Right.
It's an instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they're real. You just have to overcome them because they're not of God. That's all I'm saying. So I think it's important for us to recognize the reality of our fears, talk through them, but move in spite of them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, they said that's the definition. Well, a faux definition of courage is you're scared, but you do it anyway.
Right.
So that's courage. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we're talking about being held back by regret or things that happened in the past that's keeping you from new opportunities. So was there anything, or is there anything in your life that you've been like something happened that you regret, that you just like you never gonna go that direction ever again, no matter what, because it's because it's something that went bad in the past. Is there anything shaping that? And Taiwan, moving is a big thing. It's really stepping out and knowing where you want to go, and it's that unknown. And if you have like little to no family in an area, that's even scarier, because now like you kind of don't have that support system or anything like that. But when it's time, it's time. That's all I can say about that. When it's time, it's time. And we just got to step out and step and and you definitely watched yesterday's broadcast, because just because you make the move don't mean everything's gonna go right.
Right.
That's the one thing you got to know. You step out there, things can come crashing down. Doesn't mean you made the wrong move. You just maybe have to wait it out. And then, like we also mentioned, like towards the middle of the end, going back doesn't mean failure. It just didn't work out. So don't be afraid to make a move when you feel like we need to make this move. We need to get out of New York, because I think, especially us New Yorkers, you grow up there, you're there your whole life. You got it. I feel like you need to experience some level of living, not just visiting, because that's one thing, but living somewhere else in another state and kind of get a perspective. It really shifts your thinking on New York. So yeah, E, I'm sorry, I'm gonna toss it back to you, Ephraim.
Nah, let New York have it, man. Call them out, son. Yeah, no, man. That regret plays a role in my life all the way around, man. And before I came to church, all I had was that Jay-Z song, "You Gotta Learn to Live with Regrets." So, it's like I just kind of like adopted them. You know what I'm saying? Like something that just won't go away. It's just always there. If anything, for me, as far as currently, my understanding, I feel like I won't go back to, because of how I played out in the past, is just certain trying to mend certain relationships with family, and not just men, also bringing certain things up. You know what I'm saying? Like foolishly brought something up. You know how it is. You get saved, you hear all this preaching, and you think everybody need to hear what you done heard. So I brought something up, and right. Let people know, kind of what they did and how this played out and how it affected me, because I was ready to talk about it. I wasn't ready to deal with it. I was ready to talk about it. Right. But I brought it up, and then I just lost all my religion and everything, and about to whoop my brother. So that didn't work out. Right. So what I decided is, let's not bring that up again. Right. So I just kind of have. Like I said, it plays out everywhere. But some of my biggest regrets is just trying to bring certain things up. People just don't be ready for conversations, including myself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes let sleeping dogs lie, whatever that old saying is.
That's right. Leave it alone.
Let it go, man. Let it go. Because I regret that I even brought it up. You made it worse, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? So
because I know in your head, just like, that was a good word. I bring it up. This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna have a revelation. We're gonna have some open conversation, and then they shut it down. You're like, man, I done ruined the day. Dang it.
Big time.
This was not supposed to happen like this.
Let me ask you
an experience, though.
Go ahead.
Mark, you said something earlier on, maybe 15 minutes ago, about an outcome, an expected outcome, wanting to know how something is going to work out.
Right.
I realized that with every decision, if I knew how something was going to work out,
right,
I would be just as anxious about it as I would not knowing. Because what if you knew a problem was going to occur?
Right.
Okay,
then you wouldn't even make the move.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You'd be stuck in a rut. And so we play these mental, psychological games with ourselves. And the reality is, fate has to overcome fear, or else we would just remain stagnant. Because even if I gave you all the information, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen. Ultimately, you're going to want to know, but do I win?
Right. That's what I want.
That's it.
I give myself the best choice, the best option to win. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But now you have to ask yourself a really scary
That's a
question.
Yeah.
Right.
What is the real definition of winning?
Right. Right.
Because it can't be money,
Right.
Right.
right?
Right.
What does the Bible say about chasing money?
Right.
Right.
What does it profit a man,
To gain the whole world.
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And so we look at that and say, but lose his soul, like, oh, you gain the whole world, but you're going to hell. Well, what happens if the hell is losing your family,
Right.
Right.
losing
Right.
all the people that care about you while you're here in the earth,
Right. Right.
Right.
Definitely. Definitely.
right? What becomes of your salvation then?
Mhm.
You know, and so we can live our life asking. And so here, going back to the question, and again, y'all, I'm saying all this because I had the distinct privilege of probably making more mistakes than everybody on here. and I've been making mistakes longer than everybody on here, right? But what I've learned is if I begin to talk about these things, like one of the challenges with regret is the danger of oppressing your feelings
Right.
and not talking through stuff, right?
Right.
And what I'm saying is we have the opportunity to talk through these things
Right.
so that someone coming behind me can have fewer regrets than what I've had.
Right.
So
Right.
let's talk through. And one of the dangers of regret is never telling anybody what you regret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So I love this topic, AD. It's a beautiful topic, man.
Right.
Because you can see just like there are people that are listening that are being blessed and they're not commenting.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah,
I thank God
definitely.
for everybody that's commenting. It's
Right.
wonderful.
Right.
But somebody's being blessed. Somebody's sitting back and absorbing all this, and they're
Yeah.
saying, "Man, I need to stop tripping."
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. It's just
Definitely.
not worth it. We lose so much time lingering in our regrets.
Right.
And what we
Right.
forget is regrets are healthy. It's unhealthy to live in
Live in
them,
them. Right.
but it's
Right.
not unhealthy to have them.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna reflect.
Having a regret
Definitely.
means I'm taking an inventory of decisions that I've made
Right.
so that as I move forward, I can make better decisions.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Let's see. This quote, and I put it as a thumbnail, but it said we suffer more often in imagination than in reality.
Woo.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Wow.
Big time.
So yeah,
Wow.
that
Yeah. It plays out in our head several times. You know, I think even looking back at it, more so that I regret saying anything is the approach, you know what I'm saying? Because, and that could be another topic, but I mean that, like, you know, you got to have wisdom when you approach these things, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like coming to tell somebody that they messed up your childhood in the middle of a spades game while they've been drinking. You got to understand the family dynamics. You feel me? After you call the books, but what I'm saying is time and place. How I'm trying to say it. I get what I'm saying is now I'm mad at you that you ain't. I got extra mad. You ain't placed my feelings as important. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But then, according to culture, now I'm wrong. You don't interrupt. You know what I'm saying? They got to watch to make sure nobody reneging. They trying to focus on what they doing. They've been drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like the situation wasn't set up for me to have a successful conversation about stuff that we don't never talk about. You know what I'm saying?
But I will say, I mean, I get it. Sometimes it's a time and place, but sometimes like, this is the only time I'm gonna really see you. Like this is our gathering. Like sometimes it may be hard to pull you to the side and have this conversation, you know, and you may have attempted it, you know, because sometimes if you're not in the space to have those, and you don't have intimate conversations, like you just, because most guys don't just go through the process of having intimate conversations until you realize or you're self-aware that you need to have intimate conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like other than with your spouse or whatever, you know, you realize when you're in that space that you know how to reconcile and you know people have issue with you. You know, like Pastor, I'm sure you know you go through those situations and people want to talk and chat. You know, as you get older, or you really not even older, mature, when you're maturing in your space and in your feelings and understanding that someone could be hurt by something you say, even though you realize that you're hurting them. You know what I'm saying? When you get to that space, you can kind of, hey, Pastor, can I holler at you for a minute? You're prepared for it. But for most part, you got to mature into that space. So the only time you got is at that space table to kind of throw it out there. Now, granted, unfortunately, sometimes you're not going to get the response that you would like a my bad, I didn't realize, I'm sorry. You know, you're going to get, well, that's you just need to eat that up. You know, like that's just how it is. You know, like you're going to get the retraction, you know, man, it ain't that bad, you know. And you think you're like, go ahead.
So somebody renege on you, and then all of a sudden, all of your childhood pain and anguish just comes out.
Yeah.
And y'all work out y'all stuff right there.
You've been reneging my whole life.
My whole life. This is what I'm talking about right here.
You reneged on me when I was 7 years old.
I'm telling you.
Right.
Back in 97, you did the same thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You cut me back then, you cut me now.
You know what? It's funny. A long time ago, I read a blog that said, and during the holidays, like people that go home, you know, and their mom and father's there, no matter how old they are, everybody reverts back to their role when they get into the house. They're like, they're doctors, they're CEOs, you know, they're top of the game, they're bishops and men, you know, they all at the top of the game outside this house. But when they come in there, it's the older brother, you know, middle brother, you know, younger, you know, and they clamoring like they're back teenagers again, you know, regardless of the roles, all of the education doesn't matter. But it seems like the roles, they get back into their roles when they come into the house. And a lot of that, you know, sometimes I think we as families don't deal with stuff that's happened. And we sit on it, you know, and it sits, and this is part of this regret part. Like, man, I regret ever doing such and such. I regret I'm never going to connect with folks again. I'm never, you know, because especially if my family is the only people I've ever connected with, it's like, man, people ain't worth nothing, you know, or they get into the mindset like, I'm never going to have a relationship. I'm just going to use people. You know, they're just utilities to me. You know?
Like what the torment of it is, like the same thing that torments me, the same thing that really should help me get over it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The fact that I literally can't do anything about it, it torments me. But that's also like what should be helping me get past it. Like, you know, like my boss always say, you know, control controllables. You know what I'm saying? Like you can control how much you spend on a monthly budget. I can't control, you know, who gonna buy. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So like control what you can control. So it irks me that I did something, that I had a moment. And then look, you talk about regrets. Sometimes we define, look at even people we read in the Bible. A lot of them are defined throughout eternity, bro. The whole Bible. People been reading their stories for thousands of years about a mistake they made one time. You feel what I'm saying? So like Peter, they done made him a saint. He started all these church, but everybody talking about how he denied Christ 3 times. You feel what I'm saying? Like you think if he could have that night back, he wouldn't want to take it back. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But like it all was a part of his role. You know what I'm saying? So it irks me that I can't undo things. You feel me? Because if I was thinking straight, if I was doing, you know what I'm saying, I would play it different.
When you think of great kings, I'm going to cut you off, E.
No, go ahead.
You just said something significant. When you think of great kings of the Bible, what names come to mind?
David, Hezekiah.
King Hezekiah.
David, Solomon.
Okay. King Hezekiah, King David, and King Solomon. Did Hezekiah have any regrets?
Oh, yeah.
Did Solomon have any regrets? The wisest man that ever lived?
A few of them.
Do y'all remember the story of David?
Right.
Yeah. I was trying to talk about good folks, man. Look, I love that. Sean came in with the hammer, the sledgehammer. The story of David and Uriah. Right? Uriah the soldier. David was the king. He had an army. He saw Bathsheba, who was married to Uriah.
Right.
He wanted the woman. He sent her husband up to the front of the line for him to die.
Right.
Yeah.
And then David took Bathsheba for himself.
Right. Right.
Nathan the prophet comes to David. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Nathan tells David a story about a rich man and a poor man.
Right. Right.
He says the rich man had all kind of cattle,
Yeah.
lamb, sheep.
Right.
The poor man had one. Sorry for the long story.
No, you good. You good.
A traveler comes into town.
Right. Right.
And instead of giving the traveler, the rich man giving the traveler one of his many sheep,
Right.
he takes the one sheep from the poor man,
Right.
and gives it to the traveler.
Yep.
Nathan asked David, what should we do? David said that man should be killed. Shame on him.
Right.
And what did Nathan say? You're that man.
Yep.
You did this to Uriah.
Right.
And now God is going to bring calamity on your house.
Right.
Now, here's my question. Do you think David regretted what he did with Bathsheba the moment Nathan told him the story and let him know that it was him?
Yeah.
Because here's what you got to think about.
I think so too.
I don't know what David thought I don't know what went into his mind at the time that it was being said to him.
Right.
But I do know this, that within days of it being said, David and Bathsheba had a son.
Right. Right.
And the son got sick.
Yes.
And the Bible says David laid out
Uh-huh.
before the Lord, praying, fell on
Yep.
his face, didn't eat, didn't
Yeah.
change his clothes, didn't bathe, didn't do anything.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Was that regret?
I think it was remorse.
Right.
I think it was remorse because the Bible talks about how David went, like David was a hell raiser. Let's be honest. He was a hell raiser. But when he did something, they say his spirit was so remorseful. When he went before God for repentance, he meant it.
Yes.
And so I think that was remorse. Is remorse the same as regret? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
No, I love what you're saying. Here's the reality.
Yeah. Okay.
David regretted what he did.
Okay.
If he had it to do all over again, David would have done something different.
For sure.
Right.
But here's the part. David prayed. He pleaded with God.
Right.
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 And God took the child anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But this is the capper. When David found out the child was dead, he got up,
Got up.
cleaned himself up,
Yeah.
asked for food, went on about his business.
Right. Right.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because
good.
there was a period at the end of the sentence. Woo! I felt that in my shando.
Oh Lord, Pastor, I don't get paid till the 28th. I ain't got no offer.
I ain't got nothing for you.
I ain't got no offer. I do not have an offer right now.
I know what's coming next.
I get paid Friday. That's what I'm gonna put that. I get paid on Friday. So,
All right.
So before you go in, before you put it in second gear, just
know.
Just know.
I feel the glory.
Oh,
as long as he prayed, there was a comma.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
There was still a chance.
Yes.
But when the child died, God put a period. And I don't care how much regret you have, you can't live in the regret. You got to get up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to keep it moving.
I hear you.
Talk, sir. Talk.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love it.
Cheryl says every set up is a part of the process to the greatness within and highlights the imperfections of even the greatest among us. Period.
Period.
Yeah, but the thing is, and
tell
so
the people I heard that.
right. Yeah.
I got a question. I got a question for everybody. since we keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
What is the biggest regret? What is the biggest relationship regret that you guys have? I think all of y'all are married, right?
Yeah.
I hope so. Man, I ain't talking about 30 minutes.
Wait a minute, 30 minutes.
30 minutes, man.
Is your relationship in jeopardy after 30 minutes?
Listen.
We got little Rocky morning. It's all good. It's all good.
I don't know what the whole. I'm here when them sanctified women. The Holy Ghost might have done told on me. Listen.
Oh my.
Oh, mercy.
Well, I'm scared. I'm scared to ask you this. Like, what's the
Simple.
biggest regret that is tied to your relationship or any relationship you've had? But what's the biggest regret you guys have?
I think for me, I'm gonna just jump in there, let everybody marinate for a minute. For me, I wish I would have had longer counseling in getting married. Like the way I feel like now, I mean, and we're in a great place now because we went through a lot of stuff, but like a year, 2 years, just like some weekly like classes, counseling, like real talk, like anyone with them programs, I'd have been right there, just to really understand marriage, like to really understand marriage, to really someone to dig in and be like, I didn't think about that, because you get married, you're in love, we cool, and have a little living together, staying overnight. You're like, you know what? Let's do this thing for life. Because that's what it is. And you just, but you don't know the changes, the seasons, know, and like Pastor, because we did counsel him way after, just to kind of solidify, the garbage, who takes out the garbage, what happens if you don't, just simple stuff. And that's probably like my biggest, I wish, just to have counseling would be it. My biggest regret in our relationship, just some serious deep dive counseling. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm in the same place. Any regret I got in a relationship is the wife, because she lifetime. You feel me? Like okay. I'm with her. You feel me? I piss off today, or upset her, or I do not upset. I'm not talking about the minor school type stuff. I'm talking like, let's say I go gamble all the rent away at my favorite little spot over there in Nevada, and then I might have to hear about that 10 years from now. You feel me? As opposed to my little high school thing, we might see each other and laugh about. You remember that time I put you out the car and you had to walk home? I was tripping. That might be a joke. I learned from you. I never to trust a Negro again. You know what I'm saying? We might laugh about that.
Right.
But like with the wife,
yeah,
it's like this on record. And Lord keep no record, but I'm saying what we doing, we feel that.
Yeah, I
could do something today that can affect us in our 25th year. You know what I'm saying? So,
good Lord.
That's what I said.
You all are saying different things, but you're saying the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about the symptoms and what makes you regret it. Like Sean Rollins said, being able to open up fully.
Right.
I regret not being able to open up fully. The reason you regret not being able to open up fully is because you've had to deal with the consequences.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so when I think about, like, the first thing that popped into my head when you asked the question, Mark, is realizing in marriage, there's nothing worse than acknowledging that you're responsible for a deep hurt that you put on your woman.
Yeah, that's it.
Jesus,
that's it. If you love it, yeah,
that's right there.
That's what you're saying. Like if there's a regret, it's like she feels that because of something I did.
Right.
Yeah,
it's like literally like she pulled up her shirt. You see that big gash
right
there?
Yeah,
you did that.
And see with my other women, I was able to walk away from them. You feel what I'm saying? We done with this. You know what I'm saying?
We done.
Job. I'm done with this job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all try to do me. Y'all try to fire me. We done. You can walk away from it. But and I'm not saying like people ain't never divorced. So I'm not saying it's impossible to walk away. I'm saying if you're trying to make it work.
Right.
And you make a mistake.
Right.
it like I'm with you on that passage. It hurt deep.
So E, have you ever at any moment? I just want y'all to keep it real with me.
Keep it real.
It's just us. It's just us.
Yeah.
and everybody watching. It's just us.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever at any moment regretted getting married?
Ooh. Nah. That was a setup. That was a setup.
No, it
question.
wasn't. I promise it wasn't.
Take him off camera, AD.
It
AD,
wasn't.
take him off. Take him off.
I got him. I got
What
you.
was that?
What?
What was that, Mark?
The devil is a liar.
No, I love my wife, man. What are you talking about? Get out of here, man. What was that? What was? No, I love my woman.
No, I swear. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I swear I'm not.
Mark,
But as the only single man on this panel,
Yeah. The only single man. That's why you single.
Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Wait a minute. Nah, man. Like I don't regret it at all. Like literally anything I've regretted in my marriage has been my behavior or anything I said or did.
okay.
And you know what's funny? I thought would override it. I thought since I was trying to go to Nevada so I can get our money up. You know what I'm saying? When it's the mistakes I made when I thought I was doing right by us. That ended up being the worst ones.
I think it's the regret, like you said, like, you know, the cut, the hurt, the pain. Like you think in your head, man, if I never married you, you know, maybe your life would be better. You know, maybe I wouldn't. You wouldn't have been so scarred. You know what I'm saying? It's more from that kind of perspective, especially, you know, as if I've done the wrong.
I see that. See, to me, that's a cop out.
How so though?
Watch. Because you know things can get better. Because
I couldn't see that. I couldn't see it.
You want the best for her, and then she's with you, and it's not as good as it can be. Don't you ever think like, man, maybe she could have done better?
No, you make it better.
I tried that.
There you go, Pastor.
But it ain't over. You're still breathing.
Yeah.
So you keep pressing towards the mark for the prize of the high calling of God, which is in Christ Jesus. Okay. You know, you don't like I'm still married today because I didn't quit.
Right. Yeah, I quit.
Right.
I quit.
Do you ever have fear that your family, your wife, your church, your endeavors, do you ever have a feeling that they'll quit on you before you can get it right?
Yes. Because people are human. True. But I can't be responsible for somebody else quitting.
Right.
I can only be responsible for mine.
No doubt.
You understand? What I'm saying is I'm not going to allow myself to be your excuse.
Break that down.
I'm going to do what I need to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So that I'm not your excuse.
Definitely.
If you want to go,
100%.
You're free to go.
Right.
You can choose to do whatever you want to do.
But it's not going to be because of me.
But you're not going to walk out of here blaming me.
Right.
Or you can walk out here blaming me, but that don't make it real.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Is it's the same thing that God expects of us in our walk. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Right.
Be the best husband that you can be and believe God for the outcome.
Right.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to sit up and say, "Ooh, your life would have been." Nah, you without me, I think you'd be dead.
Hold on, man. Let me take something right quick. Wait a minute. Y'all carry on with the show right quick. Hold on.
I love that boldness because most people be like, without me, you wouldn't be as affluent as you are. He said, without me, you would be dead.
Let me talk to my wife right quick, man. Yeah, you're right, Pastor.
How else can you expect to get the victory that you really want?
Right.
Except to learn, you got to be everything you need to be.
Right.
Indeed.
And being everything you need to be doesn't mean it's without mistakes.
Right.
But Jesus got up after 3 days.
Right.
I said it Sunday. You ought to look at your neighbor and say, "Get up."
Yeah.
Get up. Listen, we got to keep getting up, bro.
Right.
You cannot. That's the whole thing about regret. Yeah, I've made mistakes, but I am not who I used to be.
Oh yeah.
You can't
Definitely.
grade me today based on work I did 15 years ago.
Yes.
Right.
Indeed.
Because what you saw then is not what you see now.
Right.
Right.
If you're viewing me through yesterday's lens, then you're harboring unforgiveness, and that's not who I am. That might be what I did, but that ain't who I am, because if it's who I am, I'd still be doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Bible
So,
tells you not to do that.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's
So-
good, Pastor. That's good.
Can
But
I say this? Can I say
You
this real
free
quick,
me.
Anthony? Anthony,
Yeah.
can I say this real quick?
Put your
No,
finger on the button.
Pastor, you said something when you said if a person is going to quit or if something is not going to work, it's not going to be because of me. It reminded me. So y'all know I'm a huge Georgia fan. I love my Georgia Bulldogs. And
Congratulations.
they won a national championship. I was elated. But Stetson Bennett said something in an interview after the game that Pastor just said. So Stetson Bennett, you know, he threw. It looked like a fumble,
Yeah.
but they called. I mean, it looked like an incomplete pass, but they
But
called
it
it a
was
fumble.
fun. Right.
He said in the interview, he said, "Man, after that mistake, because like I said, he doing his best to try and win."
Right.
And he was like, I just let it go. I'm thinking it's an incomplete pass, but they ruled it a fumble. He said, after that mistake, he said, I decided then, if we're going to lose this game, it's not going to be because of me.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going
Right.
to do what I got to do
Right.
to
Yes.
help us win.
Definitely.
Now, if we lose, we lose. But
Right.
what you're not going to do is
Just
point
say
the
you.
finger at me and say it's my fault.
Yeah.
I'm
Definitely.
going to work.
Definitely.
And we-
It
And they would
definitely
point to
taking
that play.
Right.
definitely
right.
taking the onus and realizing,
Yeah.
like you're gonna put your all in there. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I quit. Like
Right.
if you don't know, I did 18. Like I was in jail. I
Yeah.
did 18 years.
18-year bid.
I did 18 years bid,
Yeah.
and then we divorced for 3, and then now we reconciled, got back together, and I've had to realize some things, and I quit. Like I quit. Like I was checking
See,
out.
that's like okay. See, you fumbled.
Yeah,
Mm.
right. And I was like, game over.
But the game wasn't over
I
because
know.
Georgia won.
Right.
Right.
I should.
That was a play.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You fumbled,
Indeed. Yep.
right?
Indeed.
But if you quit, it's over.
right.
Right.
And it was.
But y'all married today.
right.
So
And
it
it wasn't.
Right. So you won.
right. Yes, indeed.
You won.
You understand? Like we play these games with
Yeah.
ourselves, man.
Yeah, man.
Indeed.
You telling the truth.
yes.
Right? And that's the devil's playground.
Mhm.
Right.
And the thing is, the minute you get over that,
Right.
the closer you're gonna get to, you ought to be thankful for me
Yeah.
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 because I'm giving you everything I got,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
Yep.
In exchange for that, be my peace,
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That
Definitely.
part.
right?
Definitely.
So I'm saying, like, but don't get that twisted, because my wife is not responsible for my peace.
Right.
Mm.
It's like it
Yeah.
comes back around though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I,
It's
what
like-
I
But you know,
want.
but you
You
know,
need you to cause
I'm
disturbance,
looking at
but
her
you're not
like-
responsible for it. It's
I'm
like,
looking at her reactions though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like her
Yeah.
reactions to be a tell sign if I'm on my job, kind of sort of. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying. I'm looking at this text message I'm about to send her, but it seemed like a threat when you read it. When you said it, it sounded good, but this sounds like a terroristic threat when you just read it. So I'm not ready to hit send.
Listen,
When I say I
let me
receive
tell
what
you
you
what I
said, bro,
learned.
I'm gonna
This is
receive
what I
that.
learned. This is
Yeah.
what I learned.
All
You
right.
cannot solve relationship conflict electronically.
Right.
You're right.
Right.
This is a
Man.
face. Yeah.
Man,
Let me erase
listen,
this.
that right there. All right, we out of here, guys. That's it. You cannot. If my wife had been like, we go through stuff, we've been through stuff, and she sent me the long text, my response is either we talk later or I don't respond till I get home. Because it doesn't matter how I try to shape it. It's just
Right. It's gonna be your
Never.
fault.
never turns out right. I'm like that. I'm always saying that's not what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you.
The greatest
But-
blessing I ever had in my life is the day I learned to rebuke myself.
Right. So, show my message.
Rebuke. You say rebuke
appreciate
yourself,
it.
Pastor.
Right.
Hey,
You appreciate it.
I'm telling you, man, I have looked in the mirror and said, Brian, I rebuke you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know you're wrong. This is
Right.
foul behavior. You ain't helping nobody.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just stop it.
Right.
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 You can get better when you learn to rebuke your own behavior.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You'll be a blessing to somebody.
Definitely.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Is that tied to our? Is a lot of that tied to our ego?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's directly tied to ego.
100%.
Okay.
It's directly tied to fear.
Right.
It's
Right.
directly tied to identity. It's
Yeah.
directly tied to all of that. If you can't see yourself clearly, how are you ever going to be any good to anybody else?
Right.
Right.
Indeed. Indeed. Especially, as men, sometimes we get so stuck in what we feel is right.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely
We
right.
can't hear nothing.
And forget that so do our women.
Right.
Ooh.
Yep.
Well,
Yes, indeed.
Because
Yes,
when,
indeed.
Because when a woman
Yes,
feels
indeed.
she right,
Right.
sweet Jesus.
Oh man, this is good. This is good. All right. Oh, listen, I appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us.
I don't know what we call it today, but
I don't know what you call it.
I'm sorry. Did I?
Y'all just started a lot of stuff.
Anthony, is this my fault, Anthony?
Now you good,
Is this
brother.
my fault?
No, it's your fault.
Good.
Bro. You on a 2-show probation, as a matter of fact.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We'll see you Monday, bro. You good?
If this is my fault, then I regret that. I regret. I'm remorseful. Let me go. Let me go lay before God and don't bathe and don't change my clothes. If this is my fault.
Oh, y'all tripping.
All right, guys. Listen, we appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us. Another edition of the Brothers Legacy. Thank you guys for being here. This is good. Make sure you share, tag somebody. Though this show is over, make sure you let somebody else, because there's some great advice that's been dispensed and been said, and even if you're in a relationship or not, kind of get you to thinking. Definitely, good program here. All right, so we look forward to seeing you guys same time, same channel as always.
Anthony, wait a minute. Did he say? He said I was finna send a text. I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
When I read it, it sounded like a threat.
Yeah. And plus, she ain't got no content. You feel me? No context.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say.
You just random.
Man,
You just
listen,
random. You're gonna be in trouble.
It'll get you in trouble, man.
Don't send it. Don't send it.
No,
Don't
put
send
your
it.
phone down.
Don't fool, Pastor. I'm so glad I ain't hit send. But when he said it was such power. That could be state evidence right there.
It sounds like a threat.
Delete that. Just say, "I love you, baby. I'm thinking about you. Can't wait till you get home." That's what you need right there. That's what you need. That's what you start off with.
You can't fool with Solomon Temple, but I tell you, these folks, y'all will get somebody cased up. I don't know what Mark was doing in this show, bro. In this show,
Hey,
get us on live.
You may not like the spare bedroom that's over here, bro.
all I know is I don't want to be called in as a witness. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Leave me out of it.
So they're gonna play the whole recording.
Listen, real quick, if y'all don't know about the 30-day challenge, the 30-day love intentional challenge, I got my couples on. I got to see how they doing. You go to bit.ly/P4F purpose for forever P4F 2022 and be a part of the challenge. Hopefully my brothers is on it a little bit. There's something nice today. This one is easy. You can definitely do so. All right. So definitely take out the challenge. Purpose for forever, bit.ly P4F 2022. All right. I'm going to put the link in YouTube and on Facebook. Or actually, I'll put it in the comments. Why not do that, brother? Wouldn't that be a smart thing to do? Yes. Yes, it will. bit.ly. Let's see, /P. And it's lowercase for F 2022. All right. And we're going to get out of here. Be out of here. All right, guys. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Always know that we love you. God loves you more. And continue to stay safe. All right.
All right.
And I got too much going on. As always,
Exactly.
we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe. Thank you guys for rocking, hanging, being. Make sure you're sharing is caring. All of my replay peoples that watch in the background that I know see this show, I appreciate you as well.